Elon Musk's criticism of President Trump's tax and spending bill erupted into a bitter public fight this week, with Musk going so far as to agree with a call for President Trump's impeachment.
Whatever you think the bromance was between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, you were the closest person to Donald Trump other than his family. In fact, you've argued perhaps in some cases closer than his family. You were his confidant.
Correct.
You got like late night, middle of the night phone calls from him.
Sure. 4 a.m. in the morning, 11 p.m. at night, every single night for over a decade. You know, I was on your show, Ali, several months back, and I told you that this bromance was not going to last long. He doesn't care about Elon Musk. He used Elon Musk for what he needed. Initially, it was the money so that he didn't have to lay out any of his own. They're going to really go after Elon Musk like nobody has seen ever in this country, because they can. And one thing Elon doesn't understand is this political guerrilla warfare that they're going to conduct against him.
Elon's lost $152 billion today. The Tesla stock is down that much. And obviously Starlink, there's some risks around Starlink because they have so many government contracts. Tesla was already in a free fall in a lot of ways. A lot of people were saying, oh, this is all a stunt, like wrestling or something. But the Epstein tweet, when I saw that, I was like, oh, he's going nuclear, and he's just decided to pull away. But there's a lot of damage Donald Trump can do Elon Musk. At the same time, vice versa. And this guy, he goes hard. Let's just say he goes hard, and he's angry. And like Hulk, you don't want to see, you don't like me when I'm angry. And so that could be problematic for Donald Trump and the Republicans who had supported Musk so much. You know, they knocked themselves over to get a picture with this guy just a couple of months ago.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And have you ever seen two ignorant morons butt heads like jackasses, and everyone standing around watching acts like it's some kind of dramatic and brilliant face-off? Yeah, that's what's going on here. And newsflash, a chess match, it's not.
When asked by NBC's Christian Welker if he has any desire to repair ties with Musk, Trump said no, adding he has no intention of speaking to the Tesla CEO. But Trump also issued a warning to Musk, saying he will face very serious consequences if he funds Democratic candidates to run against Republicans that vote in favor of the budget bill. Trump didn't share what those consequences would be.
The Trump-Musk showdown isn't economics, it's not strategy, or some meeting of great minds. This isn't a summit. It's not diplomacy. It's a national embarrassment. It's humiliating on the world stage. And both of these guys are dragging the United States through the mud while flinging crap at each other. Neither one has any shame. Neither one is acting like a leader. And neither one is a decent role model for our America's youth.
All right, when it comes to Elon Musk and Donald Trump, it looks like their relationship has ended.
There's also a story about what really happened when Scott Bessent and he clashed over who would run the IRS, and also about Doge and what they were doing at Treasury. And when they left the office, the story is that Musk tried to ram him like a rugby player as he was in the hall, and then Bessent hit him back, and Trump evidently said, this has got to stop. So there was definitely a scrum and yelling in the hall. I didn't know there was physical confrontation. Here's what Caroline Levitt said.
I certainly wouldn't describe it as a fist fight, Maria. It was definitely a disagreement. Although I was not there, I didn't witness it with my own eyes. I heard about it through secondhand reporting. But again, we've moved on from that.
Honestly, what would you expect from two of the world's biggest man-children? This whole meltdown is like a flaming dumpster fire demolition derby, now with a comms team and corporate sponsors. A bromance breakup so loud and messy, it might as well be brought to you by energy drinks and drug dealers. At this point, you've got to ask, who had ketamine versus dementia on their meltdown bingo card for this month?
There's nowhere else to go, Elon. Either you're going to be with the party of crazy, which you just saw our first story of letting their city be on fire, or you're going to try to make this party better. There's a legitimate criticism when it comes to big, beautiful bill, but you just can't shut down the entire bill as a result.
So now we've got a full-blown MAGA identity crisis on our hands. MAGA is split straight down the middle. stuck trying to decide whether to deport Elon Musk or impeach Donald Trump. And they're sweating bullets over it. Yes, they are. Because how do you pick a side in a bromance breakup this messy during Pride Month of all times? You can't script irony better than that. Yes, the cult is now torn between Daddy Elon and Daddy Don. One of them rolls in with crashing rockets, vengeful Starlink threats, and enough kids to start his own genetically engineered colony on Mars. The other one, he's grifting his way through golden toilets and smuggling top-secret documents around in golf carts, all while fist-bumping cage-side at UFC fights like a junkyard dog on Adderall and Diet Coke. And poor Billy Bob down in MAGA land, he's pacing the driveway, shaking his head, wondering, is my neighbor still on Team Trump, or did he switch to Team Tesla? He's scared to say anything at the fish fry because MAGA loyalty right now is more fragile than a Trump NFT resale value. It's a full-blown red hat soap opera. They can't even scream, "Let's go Brandon," in unison anymore. The cult's rhythm is off, their flags are faded, and their two frontrunners are trashing each other like teenage exes on Facebook Live. And into the chaos walks Michael Cohen, swinging like he's got nothing to lose, because he doesn't. He hops on MSNBC's Velshi and drops the kind of line that makes news anchors do a double take. This is going to be a war like nobody has ever seen, maybe in all of history. Why? Because Trump craves relevance and Musk craves dominance. This isn't politics. It's not ideology. It's not even about power anymore. It's personal. This is absolute ego. It's one orange con man slamming into a one hair-plugged tech gremlin, each one convinced that the other is stealing their spotlight. Cohen laid it all out. You're talking about an immovable force trying to smash into something that's indestructible. Translation? Grab your popcorn, folks. And the pathetic part is that MAGA doesn't know who to root for. They've hitched their identity to two narcissists now locked in a slap fight over who matters more. Trump's flinging the Trump derangement syndrome label at Musk. Meanwhile, Musk is firing off petty posts like a jilted prom queen. Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Such ingratitude. Then, just for kicks, he implies he'll take NASA's Dragon program offline. Because, hey, if you're going to throw a tantrum, might as well burn down an entire federal agency while you're at it. This isn't a chess match. It's not diplomacy. It's two jackasses locked in a farting contest, and America's reputation is the casualty. Cohen's out here shaking his head, reminding us that this was always inevitable. The grift was never meant to be shared. Trump needs loyalty. Musk needs worship. Neither one tolerates competition. And Cohen nailed the punchline. He said, you know you've got issues when Kanye West is trying to be the adult in the room or march the train wreck grain. Let that sink in. That's the bottom of the barrel right there. So while MAGA is sweating bullets in a full-blown identity crisis, trying to decide whether to impeach Daddy Don or deport Daddy Elon, the grown-ups are explaining the fallout. Kara Swisher and Scott Galloway on the Pivot podcast did not sugarcoat it. Swisher said, I think it's finished because Elon is willing to go nuclear. He really is. He doesn't have a problem with that. And you better believe that's got Donald Trump rattled. Why? Because nuclear means unpredictable. It means unhinged. And when you're sitting on a pile of secrets like the Epstein files, and the guy you once treated like your tech messiah suddenly flips the script, that's not just bad politics. That's DEFCON 1. Donald Trump is sweating bullets. His little gold-plated world is cracking, and Elon's not just tweeting anymore. He's deleting, reposting, threatening, and daring Donald Trump to swing back. Swisher laid it out like a detonator. He's got means, He's got motive. He's angry. I think this guy could just go right off the rails and take Donald Trump with him. It's basically two of the most powerful men in the world squaring off in a high school cafeteria. That's exactly what it is. Two emotionally stunted billionaires throwing tantrums while their cult-like followers foam at the mouth, wondering who they're supposed to worship next. They concluded with a truth bomb. Trump is somewhat reliably corrupt, but Elon, you never know what he's going to do. And when your enemy is a wild card with billions of dollars, a rocket company, and dirt on half of your inner circle, and zero chill, you're not in a feud. You're in a free fall. So there you have it, a MAGA meltdown of epic proportions. The billionaire bromance gone bust during Pride Month, and the cult left clutching their red hats with no clue who their daddy is anymore. We started with the question, what do you get when two delusional egomaniacs butt heads in public? Answer, a PR inferno, a loyalty test for the gullible, and a full-blown crisis of identity for the MAGA faithful. And while the grifters scramble for power and the fanboys argue over who's the bigger alpha, Michael Cohen, Kara Swisher, and Scott Galloway cut through the noise and called it like it is. This was never about politics. It's always been about power, about greed, about money, and cover-ups. So the next time that you hear Trump mutter, "I wish him well," just remember, that's not compassion. That's code. Code for you need to back off, Elon, before you let the cat out of the bag. Because the truth, it's leaking. And this isn't just a breakup, it's an implosion. And if billionaires are panicking, regular people damn well better be paying attention. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.